Okay, we're going to set the tray, EDC tray out of the way. And I guess it is kind of a shameless plug, but I keep it here. So it's going to be there for me to move each time. So this is the knife set, the gift knife set that Walmart had that I wanted to get, and I never could find it. This was like $40 from Walmart. And I really wanted to check it out, but I felt like that was too expensive because that would make 10, 20, 35, make them $10 a piece. So I finally found it, half price, 20 bucks at Walmart, and I bought it. And so that makes them 5, 10, 15, 20, it makes them $5 a piece, which I think even if the knives are, garbage, they're worth, $5 a piece. And so Realtree, two 9.5-inch fixed blade knives with nylon sheath and two 7.5-inch ball bearing folding knives. So that's kind of a little look on the back. You can freeze it and check that out if you want. I opened it and I really didn't take the knives out, but I just kind of opened it and just didn't do anything with it. But I am trying to change the format to the videos to make them roll a little bit faster so that they won't be as long. So hopefully people would be more interested in watching the long form content, because it'll go a little quicker. I know a lot of times if a video is a very long video that I will tend to not watch it on YouTube, and I don't expect anybody to be any different, to be honest with you, than the way I am. So there you have it. Let's see if we can get these knives out. Leave the condoms stuck on the end. And I kind of thought about doing these individual, but I don't know. And I may do an individual on them because this is going to be a pretty quick little video, because to get this many knives looked at all at one time is going to have to be pretty fast. And I really won't be able to go over any kind of details in relation to what I think about the knives or anything like that. So anyway, let's go. So the first one we'll look at is the first one I grabbed, which is this one. So I guess these are generic pouches because they both seem to be pretty much exactly the same thing, same size. You got the same shield or guard in there. Let me see if I can pull it out. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to come out, so it is pretty well wedged in there. So the first fixed blade, I think, is pretty nice. I don't have any issues with it. I'm pretty sure that is going to be simulated brass. I doubt that's going to be real brass. You've got two mounting screws through the handle. It is a hollow ground blade with a gut hook. That may have some other form of a name or whatever, but I have been taught it's a gut hook. I've always called it a gut hook, and that's a gut hook designed for, cutting the hide without cutting anything inside of the belly portion of an animal. That's the purpose of that hook right there. Blade does not feel super sharp, especially down here. I don't feel a burr. I really don't feel a burr on the blade. That doesn't mean there may not be a microscopic burr. I would say to strop it for sure. Seems to be a pretty stout blade. It's pretty thick. It's a full-size handle on it, which is nice. I don't know if the box says what type of steel it is. No, I don't see a steel type, so I would figure it would be some form of stainless, basically. So it's a pretty lengthy blade. Let's see, what do we have here? It is about almost 5 inches. I would say 4 3/4 for sure. Definitely got 4 3/4 worth of blade there. It's a nice blunt type nose on it, which would be very useful in skinning. that type of a blade. You don't want a pointy tip at all to skin, because you're going to punch through the hide. And so that right there would be a perfect skinning knife as far as I'm concerned. It does appear to be real wood handles, though. I would assume it's probably some form of cheap wood. I wouldn't think it would be anything special. So ooh, that's really tight. I don't even know if I could close it on that one. See if these are different from one to the other. Yeah, these are definitely the scalpers is supposed to be with these knives, but that is so tight that you can't. You can't snap them. So that's a definite oversight. I'm pretty sure you could probably it is almost there, but I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Yeah, whatever. So I give up. So the next one, that's definitely a downside if you do scalbards. I don't, but I mean, I would like for it to be able to latch so I could feel comfortable leaving it in here, because that's how I use a scalbard. I would have it in here, and then I would just simply latch it and only get it out whenever I need it. I never carry it in the scabbard. So next knife is basically I would say that's kind of a cross between a Arkansas toothpick and a Bowie knife style blade, and it's the same, only that style blade you got the same length, hollow grind, couple of contours. It is beveled there, flat along the back, and something I didn't check on this one, but I'm sure it's the same. It's just a different profile blade. But I think you can strike a flint with that pretty well. It seems to be enough of a edge. Same fit and finish, it looks like on the other one, just not perfect. There are gaps, not in the fitment of the scales, but in the scales fit to the full tang blade itself. I had a video on somebody that hates rounded handles, but I like them because it fits my hand good to be able to use the knife like this, and so that's nice. It's definitely a jugger with that 4 point something plus blade there. It is a definite positive, in my opinion. Again, the steel is most likely going to be some stainless 440, 440C, A, whatever you want to call it. The back fits pretty well. Down on the end, there's a little bit. They could have buffed this in to come in closer to the actual handle. Looks like the handle, the blade itself is a little shy, or a little proud of the scales right in here, but comes flush, and then it goes negative. The scales are proud of the handle, and they're a little proud up here. It's also, the scales are a little proud here, and I don't know, that's got a lot going on. The blade is a little proud here, but then the scales are a little proud back here. So it's a decent fitment for what you're going to get. I mean, this is a very serviceable and usable knife. I think the kit is worth getting it at the $20 mark, where you're getting these for $5. This is for me $5 all day long, not $10 because of the fitment. It crowds my fingers because I got fat hands, but it's fine for the use of it. It does have a little bit of a finger choil in there, but not something that I would want to use with this particular knife. And the skinning knife has the same. So this would be more like the game processing skinning knife, and this right here is the camp knife, the whatever you want to call it or use it for. And you have the same issue here. I think I could force it, and I think I will on both of them. And I think once it's forced and snapped and held in place for a little while, I think it'll mold better and actually close better. So that it's a negative, but I still say it's all right. We can make that work. Then you've got a Tanto style folder knife. It is a liner lock, and it is very, very loose. And as much as it's not in a bind, let's put it that way. Tip down, which I guess this is like a camp set or a hiking set, and maybe that is normal for them. I would figure a tip down configuration would be more lawyer proof than a tip up configuration by default. So I don't fault them. And I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about tip up because I have been cut more than once. And like buy a knife like this, buy a $5-10 knife from Walmart or whatever. Tip up, stick your hand in the pocket and cut your finger. I have done that. So I can flick it open, but it is a heavy detent. It is definitely a heavy detent. So you have a lot going on as far as that detent is concerned. I don't think there would be a problem because of that detent of that blade opening, even if it was a tip up. I don't know about spidey flicking. Yeah, you can spidey flick it. So it's semi-serrated down at the bottom. It looks like it's an alternating pattern. Too narrow, a wide, too narrow, wide, too narrow. And so the blade itself, I can't tell as far as it. You know what? I can. There is a slight burr on the serrations down towards the end here, and none up towards the front. The rest of the blade has a slight burr at the tip and a little bit of a burr down here. Now, ask yourself, if there's a burr over here, why am I checking for a burr over here? Chances are it's not going to be there. But I have taken and rolled that burr so thin with my finger and then felt it on this side and rolled it back and literally rolled it off, stropping it on my finger. That's how close a lot of edges are out of the box to having that burr removed. So you have a slight bevel about midways of the blade. Again, it's a pretty sharp back. It's not going to bother you any if you get up there on it like that. But at the same time, I think it'll strike a flint. It's a hollow ground, and then it is a semi-hollow ground on that front tanto bevel. I like this style tanto because it is a stronger tip in my opinion. So I think that's a pretty usable knife. I think it's a pretty nice one. I like it. I may do another video on this series going into a little more in depth, maybe, just because I think it probably deserves it. And so something I didn't notice here, but yes, that is a open design, no backstrap on the knife. And so this one right here is more of the same, except it is a reverse tanto, sheep's foot, drop point, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. And it is a hollow ground as well. So in each case of each one of these knives, they should be pretty slicey. They don't feel super small. There's some meat behind that edge. This one, okay, so this one really has no burr that I can tell. Does feel to be pretty sharp, more so towards the end, which is kind of something I'll notice with cheaper end knives, that they're not sharpened quite as good towards the back. So again, this knife right here is a liner lock, and it opens like it's on ball bearings. Well, if I can get my hand on it good. So yeah, tip down on this knife as well. Again, I think all of this metal is simulated brass. I don't think it's real. The fitment of the scales are pretty good, not too bad. Up here it gets a little raunchy. The scales are really probably a 1/16 of an inch shy of the edge of the liner. And then inside, you got a nice cutout. You don't have any problems getting into that release on that lock. Your scales are a little proud right here on this section right here. So these knives, I think, could be 100% better just in looks and feel if they were, the quality control for the fitment was even better. I would think they would be that $10 knife then. There's a little bit of movement back and forth and nothing up and down. This one, I mean, it's almost a whisper. There is some, but I mean, it's more felt than I can tell. I can just feel it. I can't see it moving. So I don't think it's not really anything to be a big deal about. But that's not unusual for a knife with bearings in it. So if you want to see longer videos, then I may do a part 2 to this series going into more in depth. Right now we're at 15 minutes. So that's about as quick as I could push through it. But it depends on you guys. If you tell me if you want more details on these knives, then we'll do more details. So that's all I've got for right now. I thank you, and I appreciate you, and I enjoy spending time with you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.